I'm not too plugged into the Christmas special critical community, but I have to imagine that most people do not think Frosty the Snowman belongs in the upper echelon of animated specials. Personally, I put it behind Rudolph, the Grinch, Charlie Brown, and that Disney Christmas VHS where they murdered Donald Duck. I think it's a Christmas essential, but objectively not on the same level as the other classics. Not as bad as Santa Claus is Coming to Town though. What an abomination that thing is. Hot takes aside though, I keep coming back to Frosty, not just because of Yuletide Stockholm Syndrome, but because at the beginning of the special, there's 40 seconds of uninterrupted, mind-blowing Christmas meme magic that until this point has been untapped by the internet. So let's get right into it. Frosty the Snowman opens with the first snow of the winter in a cozy town based on Armonk, New York. We see a class of inner city youth drawing gang symbols during their Christmas party, much to the chagrin of their teacher, portrayed by Kathy Bates. The students are beckoned to return to their seats and watch Penn Jillette shit the bed without teller. Then Bugs Bunny steals the hat and deuces, so I guess class is over, and that's where shit gets real. So the children stampede out of their class to rush to their Tinder dates and channel their inner Robert Frost to so eloquently express their jubilation.
Look at the snow! Yeah! It's cold and snowy. Yeah, it's the best kind of snow, too. I like snow. Yeah, that was good. See? Snow!
Also, check out this crackhead in the blue sweatshirt breaking the second law of thermodynamics sledding uphill. Keep an eye on this legend, he'll be back. Then Bert and Ernie waltz in with a giant snowball acting like they're in an English anime dub.
We're building a snowman, Karen. You make the head.
だからそういうのが嫌になったんだよ。
やってみせろ。
The head is the most difficult part. Ask anyone.
No, it isn't, Karen, you self-congratulatory turd. You didn't do shit. You're trying to act like rolling a snowball is harder than getting the snowman version of Danny DeVito to stand on two legs. Also, can we please talk about how Karen is such a fucking Karen? Like, we all know what hair she's rocking 40 years later.
$3,000.04, including tax.
Oh, but we don't have any money.
By the way, this is me when I'm checking out the cash-only line.
No money!
Hold on though, did you know that Frosty the Snowman is actually haunted? Yeah, the creepypasta is right this time. Apparently one of the animators died from H3N2 during the making of it, and their spirit is trapped in the cartoon. Okay, so before the young Satanists animate their snow golem, they have a congress to decide on the name for their creation. First of all, why is this dude pointing so aggressively for 5 seconds straight? Like, Jesus, he's like a young Ethan Bradbury.
What do we call him? Yeah, shall we call him Harold?
Bruce?
What the fuck is that? God damn, his microphone sounds worse than mine.
Yeah, shall we call him Harold?
Bruce?
Nah.
My man's balls dropped in under a second, and Ron Weasley here doesn't even blink.
Harold?
Bruce?
Nah.
What the fuck did you just say? I'm gonna play this a few times. You tell me. Alright, upon further investigation, apparently she's saying Christopher Columbus. She fooled me. For a second I thought she was talking about Cocoam. By the way, Pocahontas should definitely have dumped that fraud John Smith and married Cocoam real quick. What a stud he was. Oh yeah, and you thought that blue sweatshirt kid said Bruce, right? Well, according to Transcripts Wiki, a website certified by the Library of Congress, our young crackhead friend actually said Bwiorf. Ah yes, the traditional Nordic name Bwiorf. Sounds like the name of the 8th Ingebrigtsen child.
Oatmeal.
Actually, I'm not mad at this. Best suggestion so far.
How about Frosty?
Oh boy, here we go again. Just Karen continuing to be a Karen. First she has to take credit for the whole thing, and then throws a fucking hissy fit until she gets to choose the name. I guess Karens really do start young.
Frosty? Yeah, Frosty it is. Frosty the Snowman.
Are you hearing this? What the hell is in the water here? First Bwiorf ages 40 years in under a second, and now we got Ron Weasley going from Sorcerer's Stone to Deathly Hallows in an instant. Like,
Frosty? Yeah.
Frosty it is.
okay, jokes aside, this is a pretty bizarre sequence, and for every production oddity, like,
Bruce?
there's a story there. And part of that story is that the Frosty the Snowman that we know today is actually not the original version that aired in 1969. In the original, Karen and her friends were voiced by June Foray, an absolute legend who provided the voice for Rocky the Flying Squirrel, Sidney Lou Who, Lucifer from Cinderella, Granny, and a myriad of other characters throughout her career. But for reasons that even June wasn't aware of, her voices, as well as the voices of the traffic cop and Hocus provided by Paul Frees, were almost almost completely replaced by uncredited actors in the 1970 version. Now, there is a June FORAY restoration version of Frosty the Snowman on YouTube. I'm not aware of the circumstances under which this was made, but it does give you a representation of what the original 1969 version might have sounded like.
We're building a snowman, Karen. You make the head.
The head is the most difficult part. Ask anyone.
We're building a snowman, Karen. You make the head. The head is the most difficult part. Ask anyone.
Now, my working theory was that Bweorf was overdubbed in this 1970 version by a guy named Greg Thomas, but the June FORAY restoration version also has this oddity, so perhaps this was in the original too. But I'm not the person who would be able to solve this mystery. That would be Rick Goldschmidt. Rick is the Rankin and Bass historian, dedicating nearly 30 years to documenting the production company that gave us so many classics like Frosty, Rudolph, Jack Frost, and this parody of Wilhelm II. 2 years ago, he released a 50th anniversary scrapbook of Frosty the Snowman, so go check that out and check out his other books. Rip does an unbelievable job at keeping the artistic spirit of Rankin and Bass alive. Also, Rick, if you're watching and you know anything, please comment down below about Bweorf. He's been keeping me up at night for years.